Good morning. Yesterday I mentioned about generosity and discipline. Today we're going to go a little bit deep into the life of purification. Purification life starts from renunciation, means abandon. So what is the abandon mean? Here is abandon the 5 hindrances and develop 4 foundation of mindfulness, cultivate 4 right effort and processing into 4 strength. This is the content of abandoning or come into renunciate. So life have 2 bound of his own circle. One is bound in the 5 hindrance. This is the very life that the Buddha wants us to overcome. This bounding. If you're bounding your life bodily and mentally into this 5 hindrance, greed, hatred, restless mind or monkey mind, drowsiness and sleepiness. This is called 5 hindrance. Mentally, you bound to it, then it will develop. So it develop this kind of energy is overflow into this bound and then flow like the river. Another one is bound it into 4 foundation of mindfulness. So develop the 4 right effort into 4 strength, means 4 psychology tendency. Then it will bound it here in the leg, and then it will purify inside, let all the substance sink to the bottom, and then you feel peaceful of mind, you feel the calmness of the body, energetic, like what you sit there, and then you don't feel tiredness of the body, you don't feel any hindrance come into this very moment of mind. So you don't carry mindfulness like pay very attention, but the attention not go away. What does that mean? It means you already developed the 7 factor of awakening. So the awakened mind is always there until you are not in the active of feeling and not in the thinking pattern of mind. It's just more pure and stable of the awareness. So this is how it developed into different structure of the quality of life. We call it renunciate. So renunciate have his own content. In Buddhism, very clear. I make an example, then you know how difficult it goes. And one day we look for some material in Chicago in the temple, so we ran to the north in the 31st Street. North Chicago. Then on the street, that is all the Indian people, Pakistan people, and Bangladesh people, and maybe some from the Central Asia, like Afghanistan or some kind of that. Or many people there on the street, old people, retired people, maybe they just come not long ago, but their hands still using the bead. Yeah, you know the bead. Yeah, in Chinese Buddhism too, other Buddhists too, they take the bead, counting the bead. Yeah, bead. Yeah. So all Muslims they carry bead too. For their life may be very stressful. So they learn how to pull back the mindful into attention from this very moment. So not let the mind run to exterior senses contact too much and forget how to pull back. So they have that kind of experience and they have that kind of skill to hold back. But other hold back, what you need to cultivate and process, I don't know how they process their practice skill. But in Buddhism, we have very clear how to let this very body and mind come to his own concentrate and observation. So they talk about concentrate to the body and overcome the body attachment. Concentrate the feeling and overcome the feeling attachment. And concentrate to the mind. Let the mind know abiding. And concentrate to the Dharma. Remembering the Buddha's merit. Means the Buddha had discipline, concentration, wisdom, deliverance, and the knowledge of deliverance. That is what the Buddha changed in his life to awakening. So awaken means he have the 5 Dhamma body or 5 factors in his mindset come to the body reset. Seal up this bound into purifying. So he liberated all this body and mind into these factors to build up a new awakening life, not rust anymore. Totally pure, and that pure cannot be rust again. Like that. He bound it that way. So he called it this life is end into suffer. That is a goal. When renunciate personality who wake up, determined to renunciate, this is the only can be processed and cultivated in the mindset. So we see these two indifferent. Once you observe back to the life from very childhood born, I think 98% of the population is not guided by this skill, not being heard the teaching. Father, mother never do it, and go to the school never show this. They show only hindrance part. Yeah, and your life too automatically develop the hindrance path because contact to the world by attention. So the world is sensual developed. So we look for education. So education will show you, I need to have more common knowledge, and come to the very common knowledge. Then I will professional skill of make living. That's it. And then other than that, I'll show you how to make fun. Connected to sport, connected to art, connected to science, connected to, so you can say, politics, merchant, all this is bound to the hindrance, develop greed, develop hatred, and so on. So you can see the mind, one is go to purification, we call that renunciate, start from there, we turn it back, try to purify the interior of this bound, means of this circle. One is try to develop in this circle until this circle been full up, and then it break the boundary through, flow where? Flow to the future. Do you see that? That is a rebirth. That is a renewal. Existence. Once you sit there, then you know, oh, the mind is flow there. Not much energy enough to pull back. Because that habitual pattern, I think already built up long ago. The Buddha said that you can't find this cause connected. It's too far, can reach to the path. Even though the future cannot predict, the uncertain, but the mind still have large of desire, move forward, to imagine, try to reach, try to predict the future, try to develop something connected to the future. Never stop. So renunciate means he tried to seize the fires of hindrance, try to be stopped, and try to seize all the connection. This is called abandonment. So they have a very deep and profound meaning to life awakening, but not many people got this message and wake up. I say 1% or 2% of the population, even though the very professional practitioner who already come into the life of practice of Four Foundation of Mindfulness, he still cannot get most benefit from it because of the life is not mature in release. Still far from the release. Still in discipline, concentrate, and wisdom, not come to maturing in release yet. So maturing in release means he already totally cut off the three fetters. From that is the boundary between an ordinary people and a noble personality. Already mentioned in the past talk. So not going to cover that, but processing into what The Buddha said that, this is wholesome accumulate, this is unwholesome accumulate. You need to keep it in mind. Unwholesome accumulation is the hindrance, and wholesome accumulation is starting from four foundation of mindfulness and processing into four right effort, four strength, or four psychic power. So how it develop? It develop in here. Guard your senses door. You can remember this, you remember the Dhamma. So the Dhamma is guard the senses door. Or when we move the body, come into the world. Where is your mindful? So mindful, very easy to reach out, like that fish. So when you contact to something by ear, by eye, by nose, by tongue, by bodily contact, then you can see it is not in here, five senses. It develop. It develop into exterior. Once you develop into exterior, not being alert, not being aware, then you are not in the four foundation of mindfulness. So four foundation of mindfulness is not easy to remember. So learning, contemplating, come to practice. So which one is more important? So learning and contemplating is only discipline. Practice is more into concentrate. Yeah, the Buddha said that purify your body, discipline your body, purify your mind, and this become wise, free of death. So purify your body means guard your senses door, and purify your mind. Discipline your body, come to purify your mind. So purify your mind means you know how to center your own mindfulness. So center your mindfulness is from here on until you sit there. I observe the whole body. Oh, it's so comfort. I only say that my own condition is I sit an hour, no problem. So more than an hour, then I feel stressed. You have the energy and the structure already come to limited. So you can't stay there anymore because all the four elements go to extreme. So then you can change. I didn't hold that. Why I need to hold that? Then I change the posture. I go to stand. So stand is not difficult. Once you stand there, if you can center this belly body, and observe this belly body in center, you feel the structure, but you try to not worry about exterior, seal it back to the body, and you will feel all the structure. The structure is moving. Sometimes you feel heat element, fire element. Sometimes you feel cold water element. Sometimes you feel it is a shaking air element. Sometimes you will feel it is a glue in the floor, and you will feel the earth element. So only you feel is the element of this valley structure until this structure suddenly like stick. means it become one piece. Then you don't feel, oh, strain. Suddenly it become one piece. You don't feel stress. You feel that release, more release. Then you know that, oh, the mind already merged into. Means it is unity of this very structure. Because of not concentrate enough, it will tear into pieces. Once you concentrate, it's try to merge, and then it link together. Once you link together, then you don't feel difficult. You feel that calm. You feel the calmness and steadiness. So the calmness and steadiness is processing from the body, come in processing into the mind. Once this calmness and steadiness processing from the body come into the mind, then the second thing is the feeling of stress turning into the feelings of joy. What is a joy mean? The joy means no stress, comfort, easy. Just like the first moment of sitting, you feel, oh, that's easy. Yeah. No stress because just come into being. So joyful feeling is always come into beings. Just. I use the word just. Such moment, just. So the four elements become very harmony. Before this harmony, you need to work very hard doing exercise. You see, I do a lot of try to balance this healthy for body, healthy for mind. So yoga, larger practice, yoga, you see a larger practice. Try to make this healthy circulation of blood, of breathing, of water element, of we call that other element, hormone system, all the system in this very body. What a physician said, we need to take care of it very well. Let them go harmony. It means not come to aging, illness, and destruction. Young men, take care of problem. If not, then once you come to aging is not easy to build up anymore. We call aging. If aging not easy to build up, you don't try the best, then destruction comes. Then you have not much you can do to overcome the suffer of the body. So the four foundation of mindfulness, body, feeling. If body and feeling go destruction, go illness, go disease, how can you build up the mind release? That's the why the Buddha himself very alert. 7 years of age, you can help to take care of the bird come to disturb the monastery. You can come in for the training because you eat and work something. You don't come for not serving. So you can serve the monastery, means pay part. Not only eat and consume. Then you can come for training. Until 80 years old, you still can become monastic, join into the community, because 80 years old, 60 years old, you're still healthy, then you can serve others. Then you can join into this spiritual life, become teacher, become guider. And other than that, the very aging, very illness, no. This is not retired unit. So for the awakening means life have that kind of sensitive, knowing the truth, knowing the cause and effect, very subtle. So he know how to apply right the time. We call that abandonment. We use the word abandonment, or we use the word renunciate. Means he already determined the life only way to go right now. Otherwise, it may be regret. It may be lost the opportunity. I talk about life follow his own right pattern of process in nature. I am not talking about the accidentally of the material world changing. Earthquake, fire, flooding, robber, war, and right now a lot of danger. Car crash, airplane drop, you can name it. That will be suddenly turn this opportunity of practice gone. You need to wait for a newcomer or life from baby. No matter what, you can predict what kind of life quality is that. Lower range of life quality, follow your course, or you have higher beings quality, not been found the Dhamma. We don't know. Only certain and know is this very life. So renunciation have big meaning to myself. Until today, 61 years old, I come to the Dhamma when I was 20. In that time, still a novice. Not deep and pure understand what is renunciate mean. Still struggling, and try to find the skill, to set down this body and mind into the bound of practice. So from right now, it's very different story. It's like someone already grow up, and he got the knowledge. He got the contemplate in the perfection, right knowledge. So he can put it into the lab to do the test. So he processing into majority from time to time. That's why the Buddha said that the paramis of renunciate will processing wisdom. So the wisdom come after renunciation. Why wisdom come after renunciation? Because this is not like what the world talking about wisdom. The world talking about wisdom have its own content. Means, this is wisdom of business. This is wisdom of science. This is wisdom of so and so. So they have the difference applying. They use it in different purpose. Not use it for liberated the mind and the body struggle, or what we call that, suffering. Not used for this. So Buddhism is talk about wisdom is only applying to overcome the stressful and suffer of this very life. we call that wisdom. If you cannot benefit from this very life transform or transcendent, not much you can help to the world to release from it. Because the Dhamma is the remembering. Remembering is the cause. Dharma is the condition. Other than that, it's not called remembering. Because that remembering will easy to block and cut off from your remembering. So remembering should come to the Dhamma. This is very strange. Means remembering emptiness, remembering not self, remembering no signs, remembering no abiding. You see how profound these Dhammas are using his own remembering. So the world's remembering is remembering to something that can be grabbed, can be attached, can be abided to. If that thing is not the truth and changing, so the remembering destruct. That's why life comes into the moment he needs no awakening. Only confused, or only, we call that shortcut or short circle, blocked by 5 hindrances. I think enough this morning about renunciate, because this is what our retreat is. So I go very direct, straightforward into the practice and straightforward into the goal, the value of Buddha Dhamma mentioned about liberation. So, thanks for listening.